This is a great question, and definitely it's been a topic of conversation for a couple of years now, especially after the 2020 election, when you take a look at the overwhelming support that Trump received from Latinos, especially Latinos from Florida, specifically from the quote-unquote white Cubans. But it's not surprising when you understand the political history of Cuba and when you examine anti-Castro Cubans that were amongst the white Cubans who were used to being amongst the elite, who were part of a class of Cubans that had a monopoly on wealth and opportunities, where racial inequalities was the norm, right? Which is the story for a lot of Latin American countries. It is a culture of white supremacy, and it's a culture of normalized white supremacy. Because see, Castro is a controversial topic, right? And I don't agree with a lot of the things that he did, the way he did them specifically. But what Castro did do is that he came up against racial inequality, and he came up against the elitism that wealthy white Cubans were used to. So when you understand all of that history, it becomes really easy to understand how this group of people could come from Cuba and then align themselves with someone like Trump and stand behind him as a candidate for the presidency. It's easy to see how they could ignore him being a white supremacist and him being a blatant, bold bigot and him being a bold racist. Because when he's talking about other Spanish-speaking countries and when he's talking about Latinos the way that he does, and when he clearly shows you that he does not care about us at all, those who see themselves in proximity to whiteness, they don't see themselves a part of that. They'll say, I'm not a part of that. I'm not like those Latinos. You know, it's different levels, right? It's white supremacy, it's classism, it's elitism, it's all of those things. And as I said in a video that I recorded last year, it's pinned on my page, anti-blackness is not something that people begin to do when they come to the United States. It's something that we learn because it is part of Latin American culture. Unfortunately, it is one of the unfortunate features of Latin American history and culture. It's normalized anti-blackness, normalized white supremacy. These are things that people are used to. So those of us in the Latino community who choose to subscribe to that and perpetuate that mentality, you're going to see it manifest itself in many ways. How you vote at the ballot box is very telling. It's one of the things that, you know, it really reveals a lot about the way that groups of Latinos vote and how they think and how they can stand behind certain things. When you look at Latinos who even have voted democratically across several elections, but all of a sudden found themselves standing behind somebody like Trump and voting for him just because he was promising to give out all this money. Hey, this guy's giving out checks. So for those who that was important to, hey, I'll vote for him. And all of that while knowing and hearing that this man is just saying wildly racist things against Black and Latino communities. But it was easy to ignore and dismiss. Why? Because it is a normalized part of Latino culture to dismiss anti-Blackness, to play it down, right? To sweep it under the rug, to not address it, or to just minimize it and say, you're being too sensitive, right? Or why are you letting that get to you? It's nothing. So what? You know, it's a culture of just not really confronting the reality of a situation, that someone is being blatantly racist in your face.